guys, how's it going? So, today's video is about pickups being microphonic. Well, who do you want to believe? It's up to you. Now, there's been discussion about this, and all this microphonic stuff is also related into the Tonewood debate too, and oh my goodness. So anyways, let's have a little bit of fun today. I'm going to give you all this stuff in layman's terms as best as I possibly can. I'm not going to sit here with a chalkboard saying, here, this is this, and this is this, and it's all math, and that's the way it is. Okay, because you don't understand nothing. Most of the world's population does not understand physics of any sort, okay? So physics is more than just then this area or that area. It's like a lot of areas that involve different types of physics, right? So, anyways, but there is laws to physics, yes. And we understand the laws of physics to a certain degree, and that's it. So, you know, there's a lot of assumptions out there that say, oh no, we can't do this, laws of physics says no. Really? Are you serious? Come on, give me a break. I say it can be done, right? Just start using your brain and thinking outside the box. And also, try and dumb things down a little bit. You might understand a little bit more. And that's what I'm here for, is dumb things down for you so you can understand a little bit more about pickups and the fact that they are microphonic, even ones that have almost no magnetic field, right? Because you can't have a pickup that has zero magnetic field, period. Otherwise, you get what? No sound, right? Because that's the nature of electric guitars. They work based on magnets, right? And a coil wrap, etc. And there's a whole lot involved in how guitars are put together and so on and so on. So I'm going to try and get you to understand the whole microphonic part, and so you'll understand that all pickups, yes, they are all microphonic, but not in a serious manner, because yes, some are seriously microphonic and they're very bad, okay? Whereas you've got others where they're reduced by sealants. And back in the day, because this goes into the Tonewood debate, how Tonewood affects the sound of a pickup, and I still say either way it does. It really does. And but how critical it is, you know, a difference from way back then to now, where you're going to notice it immediately, right? So, you know, we got the guy who chop sawed his guitar up. Well, he didn't take off enough wood to make a difference, I can tell you that, right? But if he had, you know, he would have heard a difference, and he would have gone, oh crap, okay? But he didn't take off enough to make any noticeable change, right? Even for us to listen, okay? Now, there is Tonewood involved, yes. I want to do my part of the Tonewood debate and get into this, you know, and that's why I also have a video up asking for my subscribers, or even non-subs can donate to the cause. And you can check that video out. That's, you know, Tonewood debate, I need your help video. Watch the whole thing. I know it's long, but you're going to learn a lot, especially about what I want to do. And there's still some tests that I didn't mention that I want to do, because hey, I got to leave some stuff as a surprise for you. And one way or another, it's going to come out in the end. You know, everything comes out in the wash at the end anyways. So we'll see how things go. However, if nobody helps out, that's fine. I have contacted a guitar company asking for them to sponsor me for this, or donate a couple of guitars. I've told them what my requirements were, you know, and I don't need like super expensive guitars for this, you know, but I do need 2 of them that are completely different in their body wood and their pickups, but they have to all be cross compatible for parts too, as much as possible. So because we're going to do a lot of that, we're also going to be removing a extremely large portion of wood, you know, which is something that's not been done. And yes, I know there was one guy who did all that oscilloscope crap and everything else. We're not even getting into that in this video, okay? But you get the idea. So go watch my video, you know what's happening. But before you do that, continue with this one, because we're going to teach you about microphonics, and that all pickups are microphonic no matter what somebody else on some other channel who happens to be a builder will tell you, okay? There is always a microphonic level to a guitar pickup no matter what, and there has to be, or you have no sound, okay? So yes, you can have some really expensive pickups that have almost zero magnetic field, but you cannot have a pickup that has no magnetic field whatsoever, at least not yet, okay? So technology just isn't that far ahead yet. Not that I'm aware of anyhow, and because I haven't seen it even on YouTube, let alone anywhere else. So until such time, yes, you must have a magnetic field of some sort to get the sound through. Now, when you start talking about your guitar, strings are metal, right? So you create an acoustic sound. Why is it that you get an acoustic volume level, which will be different, by the way, from guitar to guitar, depending on the style of guitar and so on? Why will you get a different volume level? Because the pockets that are routed out, some companies will make them as shallow and tight as possible, okay, where others will make them much deeper and bigger to create larger cavities. There's influence there from, basically you call it a sound chamber, okay? And so as the wood resonates and the strings make their tonal sound, all that goes through, and yes, even though there's a blockage here, it reduces a lot. If you were to take your pickups out, you would probably find that yes, the sound is a lot louder acoustically than when the pickups were in there. So there's still an acoustic chamber there, or sound chamber. So if you look at my Strat copy here on the wall, this is what me and my son are working on right now, this has an extremely large acoustical chamber, okay? So, and the only thing that can help reduce the sound that can create acoustically is a few things. The pickups and all the hardware installed onto the plate, and the plate covers it and muffles it a lot. So if we were to take the plate out of there, right, we could in fact get a much louder sound, okay, with no plate, no pickups. Even just take the pickups out and leave the plate, we're going to get a much louder sound, right, because now there's nothing stopping all that vibration from the neck and the body and the strings and all that other jazz involved, okay, and it's going to make it a much louder sounding guitar, kind of like your hollow bodies and semi-hollow body electrics. Same sort of ideas and theories behind that. But when you talk about pickups being microphonic, what they're talking about is turning up the power, going, "Hey, dummy," and being able to hear that through the amp. Now, right here on my clean channel, and how loud my amp is, which is not very loud, it's going to be almost impossible to be able to hear that because it's not up high enough. If I turn it up high enough, you'll still hear a little bit of it, but these pickups are really well sealed, okay, so they've been reduced in their acoustic capabilities so that the feedback is reduced, the microphonic levels are reduced quite a bit, so the sound, when you start yelling into them, it's very, very difficult to create sound. So it has to rely on its electronics, the string vibration from up top, any vibration and sound frequencies created by the wood and so on, okay, to manipulate and control what these pickups actually do. So you can turn the amplifier up quite loud in a small area and be very close to it and not cause feedback, but you will get to a point where you are definitely going to cause feedback in the room. I've done this on some of my videos, and you see me like, I gotta walk away a little bit, guys, okay, because my guitar was starting to get, it was too close. So those pickups are not well sealed, as well sealed as another set in one of my other guitars, right, etc. So all pickups are not made equal, okay? So the more sealant that's used and the thicker that sealant is, the less influence you have on microphonics in that you can talk into the pickup. Now, if you watch the China Skeptic Guitar Channel guy, he's awesome. He brings in a lot of these guitars from China that are basically rip-off copies of Martins and Fenders and Gibsons and all this other jazz. And he's talked about microphonic pickups a bit, where he actually, didn't have his amplifier that loud, and he went up and, hey, and you could hear it. It was like, wow, these are pretty microphonic. We need to fix this. So how do you fix it? Seal them up with some beeswax. Okay, done deal. And the thicker the coat that you put onto it, okay, because you got to put a coat on there that's really good, and then it's gonna, shrink in, it's gonna dry, and then you carve off the rest of the aftermath crap, and you dip it again, dip it again. The thicker you put that stuff on there, okay, to a certain limit, because you still got to be able to, fit your pickup back in your guitar, right? The more they're gonna have less influence when it comes to microphonics. And that also changes the entire sound of the guitar too. Because pickups back in the day were not sealed, and so the tone wood had an extremely high influence on the kind of sound that was generated from that guitar, right? So even if you swap that pickup out and threw it into a totally different guitar, it would be a totally different sound, right? So the idea is that they're trying to reduce the influence of tone wood, but also reduce the feedback. So, because feedback sucks, it blows crap up, right? So we've discovered that if we use sealants, and I'm sure they've experimented with everything under the sun to seal pickups with, there's a lot of different things you can use other than beeswax, okay? Some stuff works better than others, okay? But the more you can seal that and cut off the microphonic effect as best as possible, okay? Even reducing magnetic fields helps, but you can't have a zero magnetic field pickup where you get absolutely no sound, period, okay? So, and the lower the magnetic field, the different sound you're going to get out of the pickups too, which some people will appreciate that sound, some people will be like, okay, that's disgusting, why did I do this, God, I spent so much money on these pickups, they're supposed to be great and they sound like crap to me. Because everybody has their sound, right? And some people like a cheap pickup that you just fix up, throw in some beeswax or throw it in plastic dip for all I care. Plastic dip works really good, by the way, for a lot of stuff. And so you change and alter the pickup. You can clean it up more too. Your clean stays cleaner, even at the higher volumes, when you have a properly and good, well-sealed pickup. And so therefore your microphonics are also affected, and that it's reduced, right? So even whatever echo chamber you have is a littler and littler effect. And this is why a lot of people are saying, well, tone would makes absolutely different, no difference whatsoever. Okay, it's all about electric guitars. Well, it still does make a difference, okay? Believe what you want, doesn't matter. I mean, when I can do the testing, however it's gonna happen, I'm gonna do a lot of tests. And, you know, one of the tests is actually removing about close to 90% of the body wood, okay, and seeing if that's going to make a difference. I'm thinking, yep, it does, and I've got a lot of people too that'll agree with me too, that if you reduce that amount, oh yeah, you're going to notice a difference, okay, where, you know, just lopping off a horn here, a chunk here, that is not going to make any noticeable difference to anybody, okay, and this is why I said that Mike G kind of failed, right? He didn't do it properly, he didn't remove enough, right? And using a chop saw is actually kind of stupid, really, because it completely wrecks the guitar. I mean, he could have put it back together had he used a bandsaw and made clean cuts, or hey, made a whole new cool guitar out of the deal. But you'll see those little tiny guitars, like Rogue guitars, they got really teeny bodies. They have a totally different sound to them too, and a different sound acoustic level wise too. You know, and different influences at the wood and so on. So, but all this even affects your pickups, right? And how they react with the different frequencies generated from here to here, okay? And all this, right? That's why a guitar with bolt-on neck has better sustain than one that does not, right? So, it's just the way it is, you know? But anyway, so let's talk more about microphonics here. Okay, so we've got our volume cranked up on our guitar, full blast, and our tone. I'm on the bridge pickup. Hello, 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 hello. Okay, we can't hear anything, right? Let's turn that up. Now I'm going to stand back a little bit just in case. Okay? Hello, hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. Now I can hear a little bit coming through, very little though, and my face is right up to the guitar like this. You can hear that, can't you? So they're still microphonic regardless, and they're still pretty well sealed. I'm on my clean channel, now I've let go, and I'm only about 4 feet from my amp, right? And this is loud. I'm not going to do it though because I don't want to piss off my neighbors. So, and that's my amp is not even half blast yet. So let's turn things down a bit. Okay, so we've just shown you that even a pretty good well-sealed pickup is still microphonic under the right circumstances. But you're sticking your lips right on your friggin' guitar and you're kissing your guitar to get that sound to come through. So that means that these aren't bad pickups. Okay, now, a little experiment for you folks. I want to show you this. I'm plugged into a different amp. Okay, you hear that? Now you don't, okay? It's off, okay? Nothing. Microphone. Hello people, hello people. Okay. Strumming even lighter. Less effect right at the very back, but you can still hear it. Now let's get this thing dangling in the air as best as we can. So, does wood have an influence in sound? Yes. Anyway, so if you have no magnetic field whatsoever, and a microphone has a magnet in it, okay, you got nothing. You got no sound. So all pickups, yes, they are all microphonic. They all have a microphone or magnetic influence, which is part of your sound creation, in order to get sound through there, okay? A speaker has a cone, okay, usually paper or polyurethane, whatever they make it out of. Okay, it has a magnet, it has a voice coil, okay? Because that's what these are. The coil wrapping is a voice coil, okay? And instead of using paper, we use magnets for the influence as well. So we don't have paper cones sticking out of our frickin' guitar pickups, right? But you don't have to necessarily have that paper cone there, right? So you have to hook things up differently to get the sound out and to the amp, okay? So your pickups are kind of like microphones, right? And so they are microphonic. It's about the only way I can really explain it in the dumbest down version possible. So yes, even though Will's Easy Guitar went, "Hey dummy," okay, basically, into a pickup that he hooked up outside of a guitar, that pickup was obviously a really well sealed, well made pickup, right? These pickups are pretty well sealed and pretty well made until I get to an extremely large volume and I can start to make it effect, okay? And however, I walk further and further away, it's going to get cleaner and cleaner because I'm not so close, so that feedback is reduced. But what causes the feedback? What is causing the feedback even in these pickups? Well, you've got a body cavity underneath them. You've got an echo chamber. Okay, you've got vibration from all the metal network under here. You've got your neck involved. Your body is involved. Okay, which we just proved that if I stick a microphone onto my body, I can make this thing sound like a guitar again. I can produce sound. So therefore, sound and frequency waves go through the body. It's created. It goes through the neck. It's created. So if we were to add this stuff into the tone wood debate, which we're going to anyways, it does help to support that the body wood does affect sound and does do its part in creating sound as well. So anyways, this is as far as I want to take this for now. So if you've got questions or comments, feel free to leave them. Hey, no problem. And I'll do the best I can to answer them. But I think we've pretty much covered the basis on the main point of this video, which is, are pickups microphonic? Okay, so can we yell into them and get audio? Yes, we can. Even in a low magnetic field pickup, you will still be able to reproduce this, again, what I've done with, talking into it under the right circumstances. Okay, it's just going to take a hell of a lot more power out of the amp to do this, okay, because of the acoustics involved and everything else and how things have to bounce off and frequencies and so on to get those pickups to pick up my voice instead of, picking up this stuff, right? It's going to be different situations. So, but you still cannot have a pickup at this time of technology, okay, with zero absolute zero magnetic field. Otherwise, yeah, they would have been doing that for a long time now. So, but, and of course we would already know about it. So, till the next time, catch ya!